So it's Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Sky Sports pundit, former world champion and record-setting world champion at that, Johnny Nelson MBE. Johnny, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you, Danny. I'm all good. I'm all good. It's been a busy, hectic week, so for all the good reasons.
Yeah, we discussed the award of the MBE in a previous conversation that we had. Very well deserved. Delighted for you. But you actually got to collect it and to be awarded it just this week with your family, your friends there. What was that like, that experience?
Danny, it was you know what? It was nice. I think the probably one of the something you can't buy an experience like that. I managed to take my three girls with me, and it was nice. It was something that they'll always remember. Um, I took my mum on and stitched on the inside of my pocket, in my jacket pocket. She was there. Obviously, I wish my mum and Brendan was around to see this. But the whole day was nice. I think Prince William was cool. Most things people have said is he tall? Because you're a big lad and he towered over you. I'm like, I was thinking, as I was looking down, thinking, has he got heels on? But it was all in all an absolutely beautiful day. I think it gave me a chance to just have that quality time. I always say to people, wealth isn't what you got in the bank. Wealth is the people you have around you, the family you have around you, and I think my daughters and myself, we had an amazing time.
How aware was Prince William of your history and what you've done in the sport or in charity wise as well?
He actually likes boxing, and he said, "Look, he said I'm not a mad boxing fan, but I like boxing. I know Tyson Fury, I know Anthony Joshua." He said, "I'd actually like to go and watch Manny Pacquiao. He's on about coming out of retirement to fight. I said, Amir Khan." He went, "Yeah, I'd like to go and watch that." I said, "Come on, man, you know you can't do that." He said, "I'd like to." I said, "Really, you have to put a disguise on? Could be arranged." And he started laughing. And it was my daughter, it was India's 27th birthday the same day. So my girls looked absolutely stunning. I'm so proud of them. And I said, it's my daughter's birthday today, so it's a double whammy. So it was funny. There was India, Jordan, and Bailey, all three tall, beautiful, elegant girls. And when I said it was Bailey in his birthday, the prince like waved to him, and they they were like the three English sisters that were sitting Cinderella. And it was just funny. It was just funny, and they dropped their cool. The idea was to probably try and do a moonwalk when you got to walk back.
Yeah.
But it didn't work like that. It didn't work like that. But it was a lovely day. Windsor Castle, an amazing place. I love looking at the artifacts like that and buildings like that, and I love history, and so it was a great day, really nice day.
And obviously, when you won the world title and when you retired with all your faculties intact, having set the record for defenses as well, they must have been real kind of pinch me moments, like finally made it, really got to a position where you never thought growing up, or even when you first started in boxing and the luck was against you, you wouldn't get there. Was this similar, receiving that MBE?
Yes, it was. It was. And the thing is, I think now looking back on it, I think, God, I've not done bad in life, have I? And to achieve such achievements, not just one, not just two, but obviously three. I'm two as in, and one as in my kids and everything. But getting a world title and then actually going there and getting an honour for the award, getting an award at the MBE, and I said, Brendan, he was right. When he said, this would be something you need to think about. I said, Brendan, I actually understand. I actually understand. The message that I've got from most people has been well deserved, and it's just my family, believe it or not, are very humble, and so when I'm getting thanks and the adulation, I'm a bit embarrassed if I'm honest with you, but I do appreciate the thanks. I appreciate the nomination. I appreciate the outpour of from the public. Absolutely beautiful. And I just think, well, we just got to do what we do, And Brendan always said, take care of your own doorstep, or do what little you can. And when he passed away, I'm never going to be Brendan. There's never going to be another Brendan. But what he passed on to his students, as in me, I was one of them. It's our job to pass it on to others. And so this gives me a chance to pass on what he taught me. And oh God, I'd loved him to there. But my mum, I can imagine my mum sitting there in heaven, looking down, thinking, you know, look at you talking with your posh friends. But it was honestly, it was a lovely, lovely day. It was really nice.
Where are you going to keep it?
If I'm honest with you, Danny, you know what happened? I actually he put it on my jacket. When he put it on, I forgot he put it on. So then, because we're laughing at the girls and stuff like that, and I walked off, and then I must have automatically taken it off, put it in the box, and put the box down. We walked off. We were all walking around, and somebody said, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir." And I'm like, "Oh my God!" And so, it's not. It's a great honor. It's an unbelievable honor to be recognised as something like that. But it's like my belts. It's like these things are a reminder of your achievements, and they're a reminder. The medal is a reminder of the appreciation or your achievement. But I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I honestly don't. You know, my
Don't
girls,
lose
when
it
we came
again.
back, yeah, that's all right. And that's what I'm saying. Everybody's saying, "Where is it?" And I'm like, "It's at home." So I'll think of some kind. I'll create some kind of nice cabinet to put it in. But proper, honestly, very humbling, very humbling.
And you will celebrate this achievement as well as launching the Johnny Nelson Foundation, I believe, February the 3rd
Yeah,
next year at Cutler's Hall
yeah.
in Sheffield. Just tell us a little bit about the Johnny Nelson Foundation, why you were moved to set it up, and what it's going to do.
So the foundation is to try and attract money from donators, so I can put the money into the foundation to hand out to charities. It's hard enough being a charity on your own, but and so you look and say, I want to hand out here, there, and everywhere. I want to be in a position to hand it out. I've not got that money, but hopefully this stage that I'm on attracts money to say, I want to put that in your foundation to give to certain charities. So each year I'll probably pick 2 charities to add on, depending on how we're doing in attracting donations, and so I can give it to the charity to say, right, do your thing. That's what you do. There's 2 charities I've attached the foundation to. One is the Mama Youth Project. The Mama Youth Project is to try and train up young individuals to get into TV. And everybody looks thinks they want to be on TV, and I don't mean in front of the camera. I mean the true power behind the throne: editing, directing, producing. Look at how it works. Educate yourselves to say how this works. And everybody thinks, how do I get into that? And over the years, so many kids have said, how do I get into it? And I can remember my daughter when she tried to get into it. I said, you don't want to be looking in front of camera. Look behind camera. Now, kids that look like me, or kids that come from my background, think, well, I want to be able to do it, but how you do it? The Mama Youth Foundation is a charity. It's been set up, and it's countrywide. You know, once you look into that, they will create format situations to try and guide you in the right direction and help you with it. The other one is to help school kids that struggle in school, to help educate kids in obviously in the alternate way. My sister used to be a head teacher, and she came out of the system because she didn't agree with how kids that didn't actually blend very well in school were being taught. I was one of those kids. And she was like a freaking student, but she begged, borrows, and steals to get pens, books, papers, like a roof over, so they can rent stuff to get these kids to come in and so they can help them study, but in an alternate way. And there are many situations like that, charities like that, set up and down the country for alternate teaching. Now, so again, the foundation's about that. The foundation is about giving money to give it back to help people improve themselves, to better themselves. And so, to me, that's just a great start to go along with.
That's awesome. Where do you think that charitable side of you comes from? You know, you mentioned your mum earlier and Brendan Ingle, of course, as well.
Mm.
They were obviously key influences. Did you get some of that altruism from them?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. And listen, I wasn't a clever kid when I left school. I've never been in the front team where things are given to me. And you've always thought, God, if I was in a position I could give, I'd give that to somebody. And then it got to a stage when you become champion and you've got the money, and all of a sudden the companies are giving you cars, clothes, everything that you asked for when you didn't have the dough. And I still took it, but I gave it to everybody else that didn't have it. And that's from Brendan. You know, it's just helping people, helping them to help themselves, so they'll help people to help themselves. And that's from being around Brendan. My education didn't start until I left school, until I met Brendan. And so you've got to be able to sleep at night. It doesn't matter about how people perceive you. You've got to, when you close your eyes, the only person you're left with is you. So you've got to be able to sleep at night, be comfortable with how you conducted yourself and how you've been with other people. I'm comfortable with my intentions for this Johnny Nelson Foundation. I'm very comfortable. And because I know I'm trying to help people. And listen, we all do things to help people, but most people want to flash it up and say, look what I've done. And that's helping, but in a way, you're helping yourself too. You know, the foundation's there, and I've got to use my platform to try and attract money to help others. And so if that's what I've got to do, that's what I'm doing.
Great stuff. Well, we could go back and forth about this for the rest of the interview, but I think there's people out there that are going to want to hear your views on some of the boxing topics at the moment, for good or bad. The name on everyone's lips in the last week or so has been Tyson Fury, of course, after that quite a shocking performance and result, being as close as it was against Francis Ngannou. What did you make of it? What was your initial reaction?
Daniel, you know, I think you might be the first person I've probably done an interview on this about, and I've said what I've said. And I watched the fight initially. I said, nah, Tyson ain't won that. I watched it again the next morning. Nah, he's not won that. And I'm thinking, sat down with pen and paper, I'm looking, who's hit the most, who's hit who the most. Then you think, okay, Tyson touched him more than he touched him. But then you look at it and you think, Tyson didn't deserve the win, but he got the win because he landed more shots, because of his pedigree, because of what he's done, and because of we know the fighter he is. So that's why he got the nod. You look at Ngannou, that was his first professional fight. The performance he put on in comparison to Tyson, if he'd got the win, he couldn't complain. And so as Tyson as champion, he's not supposed to lose like that. And really, he hit him more than he hit him. But Ngannou was a powerful one, the one that pushed back, the one that got the power shots in. Count them. Sit down and count them. So let's not gas with it. It was a close fight. So if it had gone either way, there's an argument for it. Now the issue is this: Tyson Fury. Now Saudi Arabia put on an amazing event. They paid through the nose to get everybody and anybody there, to get the eyes of the world on Saudi Arabia to say, this is what we can do, this is what we're about. And they did the job. They did it. Bang right. Everybody else did it around it. So the only person that was probably unprofessional in all of that, in my opinion, was Tyson Fury. So he was either unprofessional or Tyson Fury is starting to slip. His legs have gone. Now I'm trying to think if his legs have gone, if he's starting to slip, and we're now seeing it. I can remember Tony Bellew saying this about David Haye before they fought. And he said, David Haye's shot, he's gone. I'm like, huh? Really? David? And then I saw it. I thought, oh, I see it. I am saying to you now, Tyson Fury, this movement, I'm thinking, if you're saying you trained and you've done everything, your legs have gone. And I'm going to get screamed at. Everybody's going to give me so much hammer because I'm saying something that nobody's actually picked up on. I think his legs have gone. And because you looked at his footman, you look at his movement, look how it was. It took him up to 6 rounds to get himself in, to get his range. This guy was clipping him, putting him under pressure. This guy's not had one professional boxing fight in his life. That should never, ever have happened in a million years. Now, even if Tyson Fury underestimated him, thought he's a walk in the park, then Tyson Fury's basics, jabbing, hitting and moving, should have been enough to keep him off. Tyson Fury was falling in the ropes. Tyson Fury was not punched down, knocked down. His feet was off balance, but the punch put him down. But Tyson Fury to the point where he's grabbing and holding Ngannou to try and control and contain him. Now, if you look at it that way, you think, hold on a minute, look at the fight again. And you might be shocked at me saying, and you're probably going to use it as your headline, Tyson's legs have gone. You might be shocked at me saying it, but look at the fight and watch the fight. So he either seriously underestimated him, so therefore he didn't train. He didn't train for him. And I actually thought you know what? He's not prepared. He had back foot on his back. He just looked out of shape. He looked all discombobulated. But then I thought, his legs have gone. And it happens to us all at some point. And I am telling you now, I think this is the beginning of the slide of Tyson Fury. Now, his brother Shane, he did a brilliant, honest interview. And he said, you know what? Sometimes you have a bad fight before you have a good fight. And he said, Tyson has surrounded himself, I'm not word for word, surrounded himself with the yes men. He surrounded himself with people that will tell him what he wants to hear. This is what I said before. He surrounded himself with people that are scared to tell him the truth because there's so much money involved. They don't want to lose the job. So they might try and say, Tyson, such and such, such a job. And if he barks at them, they'll back off because they're happy with the job. You know, they don't want to. This is going to disable your development if you are not, if you all of a sudden cannot take constructive criticism or counsel. You know, people to tell you will tell you what's best for you. If everybody around you is saying yes or no, yes or no, say Shane was right. Shane's in that camp. Shane's right to say, you know what, there's too many yes men. There is far too many yes men to the point where Tyson Fury is not accountable or questioned or pushed on what he's saying because people are so fearful of losing their job. Before the fight, I got a call from Spencer Brown, Tyson's manager, and he was upset because he said Tyson Fury's boxing December 23rd, and I said, well, who's Spencer Brown? What authority is he to say that? You know, and he was upset because he thought it was probably came across as disrespectful. It's an honest question. A question was, I didn't know he was this manager. Now he told me he was the manager. I said, well, what about Frank Warren? What about Bob Arum? He said, well, I don't want to be disrespectful to them. I'm the manager. Tyson's maybe the manager. This is his words. I said, all right. He said, I can prove it. I said, yo, you don't have to prove anything to me. You're the manager. But remember, being a manager, you are going to now put yourself in a position like Eddie Hearn has, Frank Warren has, Bob, everybody has. You are going to be now down to people's criticism. They're going to say, what's your credentials? Who are you? What makes you think? What have you done to get this position? And if you want to stand up there and say, this is me, then be prepared to get shut down. So if you're saying you're his manager, you're the one now. That it's your position to say, Tyson, this is what we're doing because this is what's best for you. Tyson, this is what we're doing because this is what's best for you. Now, a manager's job is to make sure he manages his fighter to the best, get the best out of him. So that's now Spencer Brown's job to manage Tyson. He said, no matter what Tyson is fighting December 22nd or 23rd. Common sense said to me, I saw Alexander Usyk sat ringside. I thought, that's in 8 weeks' time. What is he doing ringside? He ain't fighting. Now, all of a sudden, this fight isn't happening. But everything happened. Tyson won, like expected. So everything was done and done. So why is he not fighting? So these are now questions to be put on the toes of the manager, because he's now got to handle the decisions made by the fighter. And so I don't know what forfeits are. I don't know what the situation is. I don't know why they said this date or what the idea was or whatever. But what I'm saying to you is Tyson has surrounded himself with people that are too scared to tell him the truth, which are going to hinder his reign at the top. Tyson Fury, to me, is the best heavyweight in the world. That fight on Saturday made me think the best heavyweight in the world is starting to slip, because his advantage was his height, his weight, his strength, his unorthodox style. But now, once you get to a point where it starts to slip and things don't work into conjunction with each other, you become vulnerable. And he looked vulnerable on Saturday against Ngannou. And this is sounds like I'm taking something away from Ngannou. I'm not. Ngannou did an amazing job against a guy that you expected. I didn't expect Ngannou to see the final round. So now this talk of Ngannou fighting, how they're going against X, Y, and Z. Ngannou fights any of the top 10 fighters. The problem now is, like Andrew Reeves, once he beat Anthony Joshua, people knew who he was. So they knew how to deal with this guy. So looks can't be deceiving, not just find a little fat Mexican. Ngannou, he's strong. He's patient. He's not going to be put under pressure. His boxing ability is limited. If you stick to your boxing, you're fit, you should get the job done. If Tyson Fury boxed Ngannou again, and if he hasn't slipped, and if his legs haven't gone, Tyson Fury should be day and night. It should be day and night. The unprofessional tag that I put on Tyson Fury was, if everybody else around you inside can put on such a show, and you went out there and you didn't perform to the best of your ability, then that's on you. because everybody else did their job. So it's either that, and you started to believe the hype about yourself. But I always said, don't believe what's written about you. Or it's the fact that you're slipping. And what I'm saying now is going to rile everyone in Nelson's the Tyson Fury. No, I'm a truth teller. I say what I see. You know, I've said Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world. You know, we deserve the spot. Saturday night, you have now opened yourself up, opened the can of worms for people to critique and praise. Your own brother says there's too many yes men around you. Now, if you haven't slipped, if your legs haven't gone, and you're now on the slide, get rid of the yes men. Put yourself in a position what got you there in the first place. Get the job done. Get the job done and own your position and do what you did to get you there in the first place. And so the question is, has his legs gone? Will we now see it? Or did he get sucking into believing all the bullshit and all the hype what's said around him? And that's where the issue lies.
If he has slipped, as you suspect, has he got enough left, even at, say, 80% Tyson Fury, to defeat Alexander Usyk? Or should he retire, perhaps?
You know what? The ego of a man, I think he would struggle to walk away from it. Because as a fighter, we think, what else do I do? I've got the fight in me. I still think I can fight. I'm 56 years old. I can't do what I did. And I don't think Tyson Fury will retire. He might say he'll retire in January, February, whatever. He won't. He'll come back again. Nobody believed he retired in the first place. Alexander Usyk hasn't showed that he's slipping. He showed that he's a clever fighter. I've said Tyson Fury beats Alexander Usyk based on the Tyson Fury that beat Deontay Wilder. He showed pause, he showed skill, he showed everything needed. I think it was too big, likewise of Usyk for Usyk to better him. Now after Saturday's performance and after my verdict of thinking this guy slipped, I think that I need to reevaluate. You know, Tyson Fury beating him. If we had to wait, I'd still wait towards Tyson Fury, but he can't win at 80%. He's got to be top draw. If he's not top draw, he gets turned over.
Now, one thing I want to ask you about, because I've taken a lot of your time already. We've seen the journey between Sky Sports and Boxer. We're into, 2 years, maybe more now. This year, there were 2 Sky Sports box office fights. Both Liam Smith and Chris Eubank Jr., the first fight and the rematch, did very well, I'm led to believe. But the one who's come out on top overall is Eubank Jr. It looks like his next fight will now be on DAZN. Where are the next pay-per-view stars in Sky Sports boxing? Who are you tipping to be those people?
Okay, so let's look at this. Sky Sports boxing is now, Boxer have done a deal with NBC. NBC have a subscriber level of 25 million in America. That's more than, I gather, I might not be right, don't quote me on it, your DAZNs or everybody else. And so therefore, there's a chance of these fighters on Boxer, or these fighters on BT, these fighters on Boxer and Sky, they have a chance to be seen and spotted around the world and put in fights that get the fan base to say, oh my God, such fight, such and such. You know, they're in a great position to become stars, to elevate themselves, to become household names. Who are the fighters coming through? It's about the signings. The fighters are out there. The UK have the best batch of fighters going. It's a case of which fighter is going to pick the deal, what suits them the most. Is it with DAZN? Is it with TNT, BT? Is it with Sky? They're going to pick. And I loved hearing Tyson Fury got paid ridiculous money. I love hearing fighters are getting paid. I mean, I love hearing fighters are making ridiculous money, because I'm sick of hearing the managers are living large in the big houses and the promoters are living large in the big houses and the fighters are like living in a shed and he's got nothing left. I love this. So now opportunities are there for fights to come through. You're asking me, who do I think the big names are? You know, there are names out there. In the UK, it's a case of where the signings are, because I know fighters want to jump from A to B to C. And there are fighters that are on the cusp of that. I'm not in a position to divulge that kind of stuff, but I know for a fact, trust me, there's more pay-per-view stars that are just about to step forward, and you'll think, where did that come from? And they'll put bums on seats. I think Boxer have done amazing things in regards to Bots have done amazing things in regards to putting on big shows, putting on decent shows. So we'll just wait and see.
Great stuff, Johnny. Really appreciate it. Congratulations once again on the MBE, and hopefully the foundation launches obviously early next year. That goes from strength to strength as well.
Thank you very much. Nice one, Danny. Please.
Cheers, mate. Take care. Speak
Nice.
soon.
Bye-bye.